Dear students, today we will discuss differential phase shift keying or DPSK. Now before we start DPSK, I assume that you read my lecture material on phase shift keying, the transmitter and receiver of phase shift keying. Now during my lecture on phase shift keying, you have seen that the demodulation process of phase shift keying is coherent. That means at the receiver end you have to generate the carrier having same frequency and phase as the transmitter carrier to decode the data. Now if the phase and frequency of the carrier at the receiver end is different from the transmitter, then the detected data will be erroneous. Now this is a big problem, or this is a big disadvantage of phase shift keying. Now this disadvantage can be overcome in differential phase shift keying, where the demodulation process is non-coherent. That means we do not have to generate any local carrier signal at the receiver end. So this process is less costly. So now we want to see the transmitter block diagram of differential phase shift keying. So this is a non-coherent phase shift keying. So transmitter block diagram. So you have binary data at the input, which is the message signal. Then there is a XNOR gate, and there is a feedback from the output of the XNOR gate with a delay of 1 bit period, which is TB. So this is the differential part. This is the differential encoder. And then you have a normal PSK. That means first you have a polar NRZ. Now this part is already discussed during our phase shift keying class. Then you have a product modulator, where you give the carrier signal and you get your DPSK modulated data. So this is the transmitter block diagram. So suppose I consider the binary data as, suppose it is 1 0 1 1 0. So suppose I consider the binary data as 1 0 1 1 0, and I consider this is the differentially encoded data. So this part is a differential encoder and this part is the phase shift keying part. We already discussed this part. This is the phase shift keying part. So if the binary data is 10110, then here you have 10110. So your first data is 1. Now there is a delay. So if you start from here, your previous data may be 0 or maybe 1. You do not know the previous data. It may be 0 and it may be 1. Now the output of DPSK do not depend on the previous data. So suppose it is, I consider it is 1. It may be 0. So if the previous data is 1, then you have 1 here, you have another 1 here. So previous data is 1 here, you have another 1, you have a XNOR gate. So what is the output of this gate? Your output of this gate is 1 XOR, you get 1. So you have 1 here. Now this one comes here again and it will be XNORed by the next data. So this one is XNORed with this 0. So this one is XNORed with this 0 and 1 0 XNOR, it is 0. Now again this data is XNORed with the next data, that means this one. So 0 1 XNOR is 0, 0 1 XNOR is 0, 0 0 XNOR is 1. So this is the differentially encoded data 10001. Now I apply this data to a normal PSK where you have first a polar energy which converts this, if it is 1, it converts it into a voltage of plus 1 volt, into a pulse of plus 1 volt. If it is 0, it converts the 0 into a pulse of minus 1 volt. And then you multiply it AC cos omega ct. That means if it is 1, then it is 1 volt, that is multiplied by AC cos omega ct. That means you send AC cos omega ct. If it is 0 here, after polar energy, it is minus 1 volt. So minus 1 is multiplied by AC cos omega ct. That means you get minus AC cos omega ct. So for 1, you send AC cos omega ct. For 0, you send minus AC cos omega ct. That means the 180 degree phase shifted version of the carrier signal. So this is normal PSK. So this is the differentially encoded data. So phase of DPSK. So one is represented by just carrier only. One is represented by just carrier only. That means AC cos omega ct. And 0 is represented by 180 degree phase shifted version of the carrier. That means minus AC cos omega ct. So 1 is represented by the carrier. That means there is no phase shift. That means 0 phase shift. 0 is represented by pi phase shift or 180 degree phase shift. So I write it is by pi. 0 is represented by pi. 0 is represented by pi. 1 is represented by 0 degree phase shift. So this is the phase of DPSK. So this is the transmitter part. So this is the transmitter part. Now next part is the receiver. So receiver block diagram is, so as it is a non-coherent PSK, you do not need to generate the carrier signal at the receiver end. So first you have a product modulator. So this is the DPSK modulated data. Then you multiply it with a data after before time TB. That means this data is multiplied with the previous data. And then you have a low pass filter or integrator where you have 1 by TB, 0 to TB dt. And then you have a decision device which will decide the incoming signal, either it is 1 or 0. and the threshold equal to 0. That means if the received signal, so threshold lambda equal to 0. So if the received signal is greater than lambda or 0, I will consider it as 1. If it is less than lambda or less than 0, I will consider it as 0. So first, the DPSK modulated data is multiplied with the previous data. So we already considered here the previous data is 1. So what is the phase of this previous data? As it is 1, I consider already. So the phase of this previous data is 0, because 1 is represented by 0 degree phase shift and 0 is represented by pi phase shift. So the previous phase shift is 0 degree. So phase shift of DPSK after delay. So after delay, this one is represented by 0 degree phase shift. Then this 0 degree will come here, because here you can see the DPSK signal you get here after 1 bit time of delay. So this 0 degree phase shift will come here, this pi come here, this pi come here, this pi come here, and you do not have to consider that. So this is the phase shift of DPSK after delay. Now what you have done? Now here you multiply. This is a product modulator. Now you multiply the DPSK modulated data with the previous data. So you multiply these two signals. Phase of DPSK, that means 0 is represented by AC cos omega ct. Pi is represented by minus AC cos omega ct. That means you multiply these two data. So I just want to write, if this 0 is represented by AC cos omega, this 0 is represented by 0 degree phase shift, that means AC cos omega ct. Again, this is AC cos omega ct, this is minus AC cos omega ct, this is AC cos omega ct. So then, if you multiply AC cos omega ct with AC cos omega ct, that means 0 with 0, you will get AC square cos square omega ct here. If you multiply AC cos omega ct, that means 0 with pi phase shift, that means minus AC cos omega ct, that means you will get minus AC square cos square omega ct. So when you integrate that, if it is AC square cos square omega ct, you will get AC square by 2. If it is minus AC square cos square omega ct, you will get minus AC square by 2. And threshold is 0. So if it is AC square by 2, the decision device will decide the received signal is 1. If it is minus AC square by 2, it will decide the received signal is 0. So when you multiply 0 with 0, that means AC cos omega ct with AC cos omega ct, so polarity of the signal after product modulator. So if you multiply AC cos omega ct with AC cos omega ct, that means you will get AC square cos square omega ct here. That means after low pass filter we get AC square by 2. So that means the polarity is positive. So if it is polarity is positive, decision device will decide the received signal is 1. So now if you multiply pi, means minus AC cos omega ct with AC cos omega ct, you will get minus AC square cos square omega ct here. That means you will get here minus AC square by 2, and the decision device will decide the received signal is 0. So when you multiply pi with 0, that means minus AC cos omega ct with AC cos omega ct, you will get minus AC square cos square omega ct. Now both are pi, that means minus AC cos omega ct into minus AC cos omega ct. That means it is minus AC cos omega ct into minus AC cos omega ct, that means it is AC square cos square omega ct. That means the polarity is positive. Again pi, that means minus AC cos omega ct into minus AC cos omega ct, that means it is AC square cos square omega ct, that means the polarity is positive. 0 is represented by AC cos omega ct, pi is represented by minus AC cos omega ct, that means the polarity is negative, because here you get minus AC square cos square omega ct. So then you have a recovered binary data. So if it is positive, that means here you get AC square by 2. If it is negative, that means here you get minus AC square by 2. So your decision device, at the decision device, the threshold is 0. So if it is positive, it will decide that the recovered signal is 1. If it is negative, it will decide the received signal is 0. Again it is positive, that means 1. Positive, that means 1. Negative, that means 0. So the recovered signal is 10110, which is similar to the binary message signal, which is 10110. Now similarly, you can try if the differentially encoded binary data is previous data is 0, then also you will get the same result. So this is the non-coherent version of phase shift keying, where you do not need to generate the carrier signal by a local oscillator at the receiving end, which has the same frequency and phase as the transmitter carrier frequency. So synchronization is not needed between the transmitter and receiver. So you need less complex circuit, and so the cost of this DPSK is lesser than a PSK circuit. So this is the biggest advantage of differential phase shift keying. Now again there is a disadvantage of differential phase shift keying. The disadvantage is here the previous data is used to detect the next data. So previous data is used to detect the next data. So if somehow your previous data is erroneous, then your next data will be erroneous. So this error will propagate. So this is the disadvantage of DPSK.